Hello and welcome to Atlanta Live. I'm your host tonight, Araya McGarry, and I am so excited for this episode. I am just coming out of my skin tonight. I'm going to be introducing you to some gentle giants. I'm going to be introducing you to a wonderful organization that helps men and women recover from child trauma, and it's free. What's free these days? These people have a passion to help people. And we're going to hear some wonderful music with a beautiful voice of an angel, and she had a brush with death that changed her life. So without any further ado, I have to bring on the gentle giants, because did you know, and I'm sure you already know this, that dog is God spelled backwards? And I know it is for a reason, because there's not another animal, and I love all animals, but there's not another animal on this planet that does more for humans than the dog. And you're going to meet some gentle giants right now. Philip, welcome to the show, and Lucy and Obi are Great Pyrenees. Yay! Oh, I like the applause. I love that. Welcome to the show, Philip.
Well, thank you for having me.
I am so glad to have you here. You know, not everybody that's watching the show is going to know who I am. My experience with these Great Pyrenees is deep. I absolutely love these dogs, and I met my first Great Pyrenees that looks similar to Lucy at a nonprofit Bark and Boogie Ball. And the dog was a therapy dog, had a wonderful sequin black top hat on, and I just fell in love. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I want you to talk about the Great Pyrenees of Atlanta Rescue, because you're all about the Great Pyrenees, is how they can be therapy dogs, what they do, and how the people at home could possibly be fosters or have one of these beautiful gentle giants in their home. So tell us a little bit about it.
So, yeah, my wife and I, Elizabeth Hanson, we've been volunteers with the Great Pyrenees Rescue almost since its founding. It started, I think, in the early 2010. We started in the fall of 2010. And I think the following year we became foster failures, as they call it.
Oh, I'd be a foster failure.
Yeah. So they specialized, the founder had 2 golden retrievers, had lost one of them, unfortunately, and went to go adopt another one, went to adopt a golden, which is where the Pyrenees sort of would wind up, because they sort of look like white golden retrievers. And he saw them, fell in love with the breed, and started the Great Pyrenees Rescue of Atlanta. And so we've been around for about almost 15 years now. We've rescued nearly 3,000. It's 2,980 some odd. We've done over 150 this year alone. And they're an amazing breed. As you can see, they're known as the gentle giants.
They're just precious.
Yeah.
You know, they're such good guardians. They are the best cuddlers. And I know some people are, you know, when I see them at the lodge and I see them waiting for their forever homes, we should call it, and I'm wondering, why doesn't everybody just grab a Great Pyrenees in their home? But many might think they're too big, they eat a lot, they need a fenced-in backyard, and none of that could be further from the truth. So tell us a little bit about the Great Pyrenees breed.
Certainly. So they're actually an ancient breed, over 3,000 years old.
They look good for their age.
Yeah, they do. They were bred to be livestock guardian dogs, and they're actually one of the few breeds that was bred to think for themselves, because they would have to go up into the mountains with the herd before the shepherd would go up. So they had to think, what do I need to do? And so they're known as the gentle giants. They're very, very protective of their flock. So in our case, it's our family.
Yeah.
But they're great with kids. You know, people will say, oh my God, you must be eating out of house and home. They actually have a very slow metabolism. They don't eat that much. They're like, do you need to exercise them a lot? No.
You can bark all you want.
They don't need a lot of exercise. They're very
couch
easy.
potatoes.
Exactly.
Couch potatoes.
You know, and this is Obi's first time on TV. He's our foster that we've had for about a year now.
Yeah.
He had some problems initially growing up, and we worked with him. That's one of the wonderful things about being a foster parent, is you get to understand the dog's personality. A lot of them come in either having been abused or neglected, and then you get to understand their personality, which then helps them get adopted, because you're able to explain to somebody what kind of personality the dog has.
I think that's so great, especially be a foster, where you can try them out, see if they fit in your household, with your family, with your other pets. I love how on your website they have not just the listing of the dogs, but what their background is, what they get along with, what they don't get along with, whether if you have cats or other dogs or children, and you're really honest right up there, not good with kids, or yes, they're good with kids and cats. So you can really have this wonderful menu of the ones that are available. And you have monthly adoption days. Tell us about that, because it's a great time to get to know the dogs in person.
So if you go to our Great Pier Atlanta website, they'll list when the adoption days are and the location, and the dogs will be there. It's a large open area. You get to meet the dogs, play with the dogs. If you have your own dog and you want to come and see how they get along with one of the other dogs,
great idea.
do that. Although, to be honest, I always say probably not the best thing to do. Find the dog that you like, and then we can bring the dog to you so that they're in a more familiar area. They're not stressed. And then you can come if you want to foster and find one to take home and foster. And that's just an amazing part of the group, is the joy we get out of fostering. Sometimes we'll foster puppies, so we'll have 2 or 3 puppies in the house, and we get to see them grow up and help them. And of course, Lucy, who is our dog, is the mama dog, so she takes care of them, and she did that with Obi as well. And it's just a very rewarding thing to do, to help a dog that may not have another chance in life to have another chance in life.
Absolutely. And just like with people and all the breeds of dogs, you can find a Great Pyrenees that fits into your lifestyle. People might be thinking, oh, he's too big or sheds too much. I had my Great Pyrenees with my 2 Goldens and my little Shih Tzu Havanese. And since I've lost my Great Pyrenees, I have just as much hair with those 3 dogs as I did with the Great Pyrenees there. They don't add any more. Well, they add a little more. But if you love dogs, you're going to have fur. You need a vacuum. That's just the size of it. But they're so cuddly and they're so sweet. And you can find one that'll blend in with your household, with your lifestyle. And I want to also talk to seniors out there, because you may not know that these really are such great couch potatoes. My Great Pyrenees would sit with me for 2 weeks when I was sick with COVID. He didn't leave my side. He didn't have to go out and run around, run a mile like some other breeds that need to exercise and run every day. Literally was so happy to sit on the couch with me while I was sick. Didn't move.
They are definitely a low energy dog. If you're looking for a dog to go jogging with you, a Great Pyrenees is not one. Now, Obi, on the other hand, he's 80% Great Pyrenees, 20% Shepherd. So he's got a little bit of both in his DNA. So he really loves to run, and so he would love to have a house with a big backyard, a fenced-in yard. He just loves to run around, chase the birds and the squirrels, and then he'll sit out there for a while. And then he comes in and then he sleeps. I work from home. He's perfect. We actually should have called him Shadow, because no matter where we are in the house, he's with us. So I work at home. He's next to me at the desk. At night, I get up to go get a drink, and literally before I've turned around from the refrigerator, he's laying on the floor next to me. He wants to be with you. Doesn't want to be on top of you, but wants to be with you because he knows he has to protect you.
They do. They're very protective. Now, I know we have a picture of you with, I think it's Schultz, this big Great Pyrenees. People think about Great Pyrenees. I don't know if they're going to show that picture, but literally it's taking up the whole couch. I just see your little head up there. They're not all that big, because Obi's not that big, and then Lucy wasn't as big as Schultz is.
Obi's about 65 pounds. Lucy's about 85 pounds. Schultz, our first one, he was 165 pounds. And he has become a meme. My wife took that picture of him on my lap, and it got picked up in a Twitter feed, or We Rate Dogs, and it now winds up in those listicles that say when your dog doesn't realize how big it is.
Right.
And it will always say when you realize you may have adopted a polar bear.
Yes.
So,
and they are lap dogs. They're lap dogs. So before we finish out this segment, tell us and tell the people watching what they can do to either get involved, because I know I'm a volunteer. I love going and walking the Great Pyrenees. There's days when you need help with the foster days. They can either foster them, where you take care of all their bills and help them become therapy dogs. So tell us a little bit about what the viewers can do to just get involved.
Sure. The Great Pyrenees, any volunteering is wonderful. Coming and just doing the walking during the week. So those who are in boarding, who aren't at home and need to get out and walk, they're great. See, they're very relaxed dogs.
Look how relaxed. They're just, they're chilling.
Fosters, there's so many dogs coming in all shapes and sizes, especially the Great Pyrenees. And if we don't have a place for them to foster or be fostered, we can't take them in and help them. And so we're always looking for people to foster. The group takes care of all the medical bills, takes care of all that stuff as a foster. You just give them a loving home, give them help them with their personality, understanding their personality, and then they come to the adoption days, and sometimes people will see them on the website. You can go to the Great Pyrenees website, and we'll have a list of events and different roles that people can take on within the Great Pyrenees Rescue as well. And like I said, we've been volunteering for almost 15 years. I think we've had well over 35 or 40 fosters in our house over that period of time.
Now, why don't you just keep them all?
If we had a large farm, we definitely would, but we definitely enjoy fostering, and we love giving back to that community. That's why we really would love for Obi to find his forever home. He's become a wonderful dog, loves people.
Yeah,
you know,
they really
and it's
do.
also about knowing their personalities. He can get along with other dogs because obviously he lives with Lucy.
Right.
But it takes a little bit of time. He loves people.
Yeah.
And he just wants to be by your side. Wants to be your shadow.
They all do. They're so sweet. Now, question: why don't you just keep Obi? Because you only have the two, right?
We lost our big Bueller, unfortunately, to cancer in April, and as much as we'd love to have him as our dog, we want to keep fostering. We'd like to have the ability to foster, and he's a wonderful dog. We want him to find his forever home.
You need a forever home, don't you? All right, we're going to put you up all over the place, so I can see. And I love his beautiful coloring too. Just beautiful. And Lucy's just a doll. This is the life of a Great Pyrenees. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the life of Great Pyrenees right here.
And Lucy's is a certified therapy dog. One of the things that Elizabeth and I did when we lost our first boy Schultz is we built the Schultz Foundation within the Great Pyrenees Rescue. So if you rescue a Great Pyrenees and train them to be a therapy dog, they're amazing therapy dogs, and they get certified, my wife and I will provide through the Schultz Foundation a scholarship to reimburse you for the training.
That's fantastic.
Because they're amazing therapy dogs. How can you not be happy petting one of these?
They're so therapeutic, and they're such good cuddlers. And I just love, that's one reason I wanted to get a Great Pyrenees. I wanted to take them to hospitals. I wanted to take them to schools and nursing homes because, you know, there's a scientific fact out there, and I know it's true, that petting animals makes you live longer. It's very de-stressing. I mean, just the way I live my life. But I did read that somewhere, that it's very distressing, and people that have animals live longer, and they live less stressful, and it's because they're here for our comfort
During
as well.
finals weeks, a lot of universities will have therapy dogs come in to help their students relax, and it's just, you know, petting these guys. I can have a hard day at work. Lucy gets up in my lap, Lobi gets up in my lap, and it's just... all your cares and worries sort of go away.
And they understand, and these guys are really, really smart too. I remember when I first got Bo, my Great Pyrenees, I have 2 staircases, and I remember I had blocked off the front staircase and didn't even think, 'cause I had another golden at the time, so I blocked it off, didn't want him to go upstairs. He was so smart. He'd only been in my house for like a couple hours. He knew. He looked at me, went around to the backstairs, went right up the backstairs. It's like he already knew. It was like, and the other golden was sitting around like didn't even know what to do. They're just smart. They're good thinkers, and like I said, they don't need a lot of energy. People think, oh, they must pull, they must eat a lot.
And they also say, oh my God, you must have to brush them every single day.
You gotta brush them, but
they have a dual coat, and because of that dual coat, if they get dirty, it rubs together and the dirt comes off. And we brush them a couple times a week. It's not a daily process with them because of those coats. Now they do shed, but typically it's twice a year they blow their undercoat. Outside of that, they actually don't shed that much. Huskies shed far worse than these guys do.
Like I said, he doesn't shed any more than my golden retrievers are still shedding to this day, and I just constantly have to brush them out, which is fine. Sit on your couch and brush them out, use a vacuum, it's all good. They're so good, they're so good. Now, as we're coming to a close to this segment, I'm just so glad they could be here. We want to push this out. If y'all know anybody that would like to volunteer or have one, adopt one, or just give some of their talents, like
and if they're interested in Obi, he's on the website. They can look him up and get his information. We're always happy to, he'll be at the adoption days.
See how alert they are? I love that. We're hearing some sounds, and look, Obi is right up there. You want a guard dog. See, look at him up. See? He's like, what is that? He's so good. They're so good. I felt so safe. When you have Great Pyrenees, they instinctively will sleep by the door or in your bed if you let them, which I let them. But if they hear anything, they go right over the door and they like block. So they're very, come here. Come here, Lucy. Come here. Yeah, you want to say goodbye to the people? Say hi. This is a Great Pyrenees. That you all need to have one. Everybody gets out. Well, get me like Oprah tonight. You get a Great Pyrenees, and you get a Great Pyrenees, and you get a Great Pyrenees. There's plenty for everyone. So thank you guys for being here. The website is up. The Great Pyrenees Rescue. It's Great Pyre.
Great Pyre Atlanta.
Great Pier Atlanta, great place to volunteer, great place if you want to take walks. If you're a walker, take walks, take up Great Pyrenees with you for a walk. I promise you, you will fall in love with them. They're just the best dogs ever. They're soft and sweet and so smart. Philip, last closing words. What would you like everybody to know about these beautiful, gentle giants?
Even if it's not with the Great Pyrenees, go and volunteer with an animal rescue group. I obviously, they're God's creatures. They can't take care of themselves, so it's so good to have humans take care of them. And of course, we love the Great Pyrenees. So if you have an opportunity to work with them or interested in Obi, go to the Great Pier Atlanta website and put in an application.
Oh, we have, and you know, I'm looking for one too. I told you what I'm looking for because I have 2 cats at home and 3 other dogs, but I will be having another Great Pyrenees very soon. My family knows that. Just waiting for the right one to rescue and adopt, so I know he's going to find me. I would take you home if you didn't already have an owner.
As we say, they rescue us. We don't rescue them.
Us. They do. Well, thank you again so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This has been a pleasure. And now they're going to hear some wonderful music because now we're bringing on Tina Nems is going to be singing Call of the Lord. I hope you're blessed by this beautiful music. Tina, take it away.
He will see you through. When you've gone as far as you can go, everybody's trying to tell you what to do. Bow down to the Lord. He's the one can pull you through. All you gotta do is call on. All you gotta do is call on. All you gotta do is call on. Call on the Lord. Jesus. You can call him, yes you can. Jesus. He's got the master plan. Jesus. Precious Lord, take my hand. Jesus. Help me to stand. Life going back and forth and back and forth. People pulling you from side to side, right to left and left to right. All you gotta do is call on. All you gotta do is call on. All you gotta do is call on. Call on the Lord. Jesus. You can call him, yes you can. Jesus. He's got the master plan. Jesus. Precious Lord, take my hand. Jesus. Help me to sing. Every time I needed you, you were there to pull me through. Never let me down, never let me fall. You were there to answer my call. It was you that made a way out of no way. That's why I'm standing right here and I'm saying, Jesus, keep me near the cross. Jesus, please don't let me fall. Jesus, hold me by my hand. Jesus, and rock me like you can. 'Cause every time I needed you, you were there to pull me through. Never let me down, never let me fall. You were there to answer my call. It was you that made a way out of no way. That's why I'm standing here and I'm saying, call the one that made a way. Call the one that saved the day. Call the one that brought you through. Came to your rescue. Call the one that follows you. Mercy, grace, and love too. He's forgiving you and you. No matter what we do, call the one that made a way. Call the one that saved the day. Call the one that brought you through. Came to your rescue. Call the one that follows you. Mercy, grace, and love too. He's forgiving me and you. No matter what we do, what's his name? Every day the same. Have you tried him? Let me hear you call him. You can call him. What's his name? Every day the same. Have you tried him? Only way you make it is if you call him. Jesus, he's a way maker. He's your company keeper in the time of trouble. Do you know him? Have you tried him for yourself? He'll make a way out of no way. All you need to do is call on him. Rock me like you can. Hold me in your hand. Side to side. Let it be know you got me and you will. Rock me like you can. Hold me in your hand.
Tina, you can sing. Did you know that? That's awesome. We're going to be meeting Tina later on in the show, so don't go away because she's got an amazing testimony and a brush with death you're not going to want to miss. So thank you so much, Tina, for blessing us with that song. Now, continuing on the theme of therapy and helping people feel better and being of good caring for other people, like we just saw with the dogs in the Great Pyrenees, is I have on a dear friend of mine and a friend of hers, which is now a new friend of mine, none other than Cathryn Marshall and Matt Hartwigsen from Saprea, and I'm going to let them tell you a little bit more about what Saprea does to help children and women after childhood abuse. Cathryn and Matt, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. It's such a joy to see you again and to be here.
I'm so glad. You and I go way back.
Way back, lots of events, Live Your Legacy Summit. So we've been friends for many, many years.
Probably at least a decade, 2011 maybe.
Yeah.
Well, time is flying. I don't even know what year it is anymore.
Yeah.
What I love about you, Cathryn, I thought of you to bring you onto this audience because you're such a philanthropist, you're such a giver, and everything you touch, I don't want to say turns to gold, it turns into such blessings because when you care about something, you go all in, and you're doing amazing work with Saprea, and we're going to hear Matt and his story as well. So without any further ado, tell us what Saprea is, because you're all in now with Saprea, and I'm there
Absolutely.
too, right with you.
You're right, I'm all in,
All in.
and thank you. So over the last 20 years, we've done a fantastic job educating Atlantans about the issue of trafficking. And so when we talk about keeping our children safe from predators, people always say to me, you mean trafficking?
Yep, that's what I thought.
That's what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
And here's the thing that people in general don't know yet, is that trafficking is a very small percent of the problem when we're talking about all child sexual abuse. And we're talking about, Matt, I believe the statistics from the CDC are 1 in 8.
You're right. You're right.
Children are abused before the age of 18.
Oh my God.
So we're talking about over the internet, we're talking about caretakers. So we're really talking about a much broader issue that we want to open up the conversation about. And Saprea exists to liberate society from child sexual abuse. We're talking all of it. So this is a big issue.
All of it. Yeah.
Sometimes I
absolutely.
think, growing up, thinking about being in a high school class, I think about the statistic of 1 in 8, and just when I was in high school thinking, class of 30, how many people was I sitting with that were a survivor that I was going to school and had no idea at the time. And it's just one of those issues that before I started working for Saprea, I would hear the statistics and wonder, can those be true? And after you become a safe environment, I started working for Saprea 10 years ago. The number of people in an introduction or when I tell somebody what I do that follows that up with, I know someone or it's me.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. And in fact, I remember very early on when I had started working at Saprea, I was at an amusement park on a Saturday having family fun, right? It was something similar to a Six Flags, and was there with the kids and was enjoying my time. And I just so happened to be wearing one of our brand shirts that said no more 1 in 4, which had a reference to the number of girls that are survivors of child sexual abuse by the time they're 18. And I remember we were working through a line, getting ready for the amusement ride with the kids, and finally the person right in front of me leaned back and said, "Can I just ask you what your shirt is? What is that?"
Great conversation starter.
Yeah, really good. And I said, "Oh, I work for this amazing organization, and we work to liberate individuals in society from child sexual abuse, and this shirt is in support of survivors." And I still remember on that Saturday, filled with fun, she looked at me and got kind of somber and said, "I'm the one."
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Yeah.
That story grabs me every time you tell it.
Oh my gosh, got goosebumps.
Yeah.
And I think you're saying the stat is 1 in 4 women, isn't it? 1 in 4 women, 1 in 8 men?
Yeah,
Is that what that stat is?
Another study would say 1 in 4 and 1 in 10 boys,
1 in
and the
10
CDC averages those to be 1 in
Because we
8.
don't want to forget the boys, because
No.
they get it too. And
Absolutely.
It's just,
Yeah, so now back to the topic of,
Yeah.
we talk about trafficking, and Wellspring Living has done a fantastic job over the last 20 years educating us, and people, if they see something that doesn't look right, I think in general will say something.
Right.
We hear the announcements at the airport, we are tuned in there, but the statistic is 87% of children that are trafficked have been sexually abused. 87%.
before they got into trafficking?
Before they were
got-
trafficking.
Oh my gosh.
Trafficked. So again, we've got to sort of, open the conversation to reframe the scope of the problem. Now, you may know my background is I have a master's in social work. I was a counselor, case manager, therapist, early on in my life. And they said, this is the one problem that's going to be in most of your cases, and nobody's going to want to talk about it.
Wow.
They said, if you cannot hold space for healing and be that person to open a conversation and help someone dealing with child sexual abuse, you're going to need to get out of this business. And I remember one of my close friends said, I'm out. I said, I can hold space.
Yeah.
I can listen. I can care. I can help in my own way. And I was very young. I never
still are.
I still am. Thank you.
Well,
We still are. We're kicking it.
Yeah, we're kicking it.
So I never heard anyone open the conversation openly until I met our friend Tucker Penrod with Saprea.
Yeah.
I never heard anyone talk about, flip forward 35 years,
Yeah.
never heard people talk about this. I said, how wonderful that we have services. Now, here's the really cool thing. All of the services, we do prevention services, healing services. This blew my mind.
Yeah.
All of the services are free
I love that.
and always will be.
Always will be. We
Yeah.
hope. We work really hard. Our founders are amazing people. And I think I've heard them say, and it resonates with me, survivors have been through enough. And no child should go through child sexual abuse. So why do we want to put another obstacle in place for healing resources or prevention
It just
resources?
limits them, for
It just
sure.
limits. So we work hard every day to make those available for free.
You all really do, and you all are so good at raising the money, having wonderful galas, and bringing great people together who want to give. They just needed a space where they can give to it, and I love that. Can you tell us the story of how Saprea got started?
Oh gosh, it really is a God story.
It really
isn't it?
is.
I mean,
It
with that,
really
there's
is.
no way to get around that.
I know. I
So
love
the
it so
founders,
much.
Derek and Shalane, this goes back 30 years,
Yeah,
where this started, where Derek was diagnosed with leukemia. So he was very sick. It was caught early on, so he was in the hospital. And he had a friend who did not have the same scenario that I did, his friend Greg, that came from a very different, they couldn't have been more different, but they really bonded. And after a while, it looked like Greg was not going to make it. And Derek clearly was going to make it.
Yep.
And Greg really got Derek to promise, if you get out of here, do something meaningful with your life. And he really made that promise to his friend. Well, Greg didn't make it. Derek lived. He went on with his life. And
He knew he had a calling
he
now.
knew,
He
knew
made
he
it
had a
happen.
but he didn't know what it was.
No, he didn't
And I
know.
think he's a very technical person.
Yeah, he's a software developer.
Software
Yep.
developer, so
Yeah.
he's very comfortable in that back end of very successful. So anyways, I guess Derek and his wife Shalane were having a conversation that when you and I talked about this, they said it was like a lightning bolt hit.
Yeah.
And the conversation went something like one of their loved ones was struggling years after being abused. And Shalane said, no one should ever blame themselves for abuse that happened to them.
And they usually
How
do.
true is that?
Yes.
So Derek said, wow, I'm that someone.
Yeah.
Maybe we're that someone. So they launched a makeup company, the Unique Company,
I
which
remember
became
that
the
company.
Unique Foundation, with the intention of healing and preventing child sexual abuse.
Yeah. It's really an incredible story. And when Derek started that company with a dream of having it be a great funding source for this nonprofit, he remembers thinking early on, I think it'll take about 5 years to make this happen. And 18 months later, they were having enough success that they announced the foundation. And I remember him saying, God wants survivors to heal. It's time.
When it's a God thing, it happens faster
And
than
it
you expect.
launched, and we
and
launched.
it grew like wildfire.
grew like wildfire.
Still
I mean, I
is.
can't even imagine the change that you've been through. You've been with the company since the beginning.
Since pretty
to
close
just
to the
see
beginning.
it grow and soar. But the cause itself is so widespread, and we're dealing with symptoms all the time. The symptoms look like alcoholism, drug abuse, compulsive behaviors. Again, if we peel away the layers. So how many people have we served through Saprea to date?
Yeah, we're excited about this. But in our first 10 years, we've served over 30,000 individuals
Just here locally?
across the world.
Across the world, that's awesome.
Mostly in the United States, but across the world.
Okay.
All 50 states, 42 countries.
Yeah.
We've had over 13 million website visitors in that first 10 years.
That's incredible.
It's a cause that's needed, and
Yeah.
we're getting places where we need to go.
And those are with live interactive services. And I think the digital services to visits to the website are in the millions.
Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
13, over 13 million on the
Over
website.
13 million hits on the website
Yep.
for services. So prevention services, educational services,
Healing services.
healing
Healing that I
services, retreats, live retreats, virtual retreats. So it's all there. And all of this, here's the crazy thing, Araya, this is all based on research. So launching this successful foundation, they've really reverse engineered charity.
That's smart.
Right, so all of this is done, the research is done, the services are launched, and what our good friend Chris Yaden said is we can't get this wrong when we're taking care of survivors and healing. So the heart of this is just, I've never seen anything like it. It's absolutely magical.
I
and
haven't
amazing.
either. You know, I love charities. I help so many and just support. I just love to promote as many as I can because I promised God I would do that before I die with the voice that I shouldn't have because I don't have a vocal cord nerve. Told me I never speak. It's like, well, me and God will show you. I'm going to speak for nonprofits because they don't always have a voice.
Right.
You know, they're doing what they're doing, but they don't always have good social media or presence or whatever. So I love doing this. But you guys are so special because it is the children that grow up and then you're wondering why they have all those symptoms and nobody goes back to where did it all start and how can we help you and for free. There's always so many people don't get mental health help because there's a cost and they don't know where to go. And you guys have really opened that up to so many people. So tell us a little bit about maybe some stories about what actually you do so people that are watching say, okay, this is interesting. I know somebody or I am somebody. How do you help? How do you help them?
Awesome. Yeah, we have a wide range of services at Saprea that Cathryn's exactly right, primarily fall under prevention and healing. So we believe communities can do a lot to prevent child sexual abuse, and it's so important.
It is.
So we have amazing website resources and then community education that we will come or have volunteers come and actually train parents on what they can do to reduce the risk of child sexual abuse. That becomes critical to what we do. If any child we can help not experience child sexual abuse is a success and a huge win for us. So we do that on the prevention side. On the healing, we have so many resources available. We have retreats for 4 days that are in person. We have the same type of content digitally delivered through healing webinars. We have online resources that are available, support groups that are from survivor for survivor. And really, that just gives you an overview, but go to saprea.org, look at the website.
Yeah,
it's
true.
all there in
Spend some
so
time.
much
You kind of
detail.
learn this in layers,
Yes,
I think.
absolutely.
There are so many options. But, I think, Matt, you also mentioned, people will come to you and say, oh, wow, I'm a survivor, or, oh, wow, I made it to the services. So I've been fortunate enough to be involved cheering the last 2 galas.
Yeah, you do a great job,
so
too.
fun, so beautiful. And I will say probably the toughest topic to talk about, but the events and the people, the most fun you're ever going to have.
Absolutely.
You
The
had
most
the-
fun.
Absolutely.
You guys had the beluga whales at
Yes,
2
we
years
did.
ago.
We did.
You go
We had
all
the
out.
first, one of the galas at the aquarium, and the last one we had a theme, an evening in Paris.
And
It was so elegant and
amazing.
beautiful. And so I think, when you hear the stories, just a couple weeks ago I got a message through Facebook Messenger that said, someone I'd met years ago, I saw we had a couple of exchanges through Messenger, probably through our professional speaking and women's events.
Right.
And she said, thank you so much. Continue to inspire. I went online, took advantage of the healing services. She went all into how well they were done. She said, it's really made a difference in life. And I'm in the queue to do a live retreat.
Nice.
And so, I can tell you for working head down for 6 months on that gala, I would do that 10,000 times over for that one message. That
For
one
sure.
message. So there just is something about helping people that really need it that you're probably going to never meet or see or talk to.
Right.
But then people do come to you with their stories and say, oh, you know what, I made it to these services, or someone I know I got to pass this on, or I was able to get educated and keep our little ones safe.
That's
People
important.
always say, oh gosh, I got controls on the phone. We're not talking about that.
Yeah.
Right.
We're talking about really educating about personal safety.
I want to talk about that for a second because we do have so many nonprofits out there dealing with issues, and whether it's cancer, whether it's sex trafficking or whatever, and it's all when you have it, right? Here's a support group for cancer or sex trafficking. You're saying something very special. You're talking about prevention. So what does that look like? Do you get with young men and women, before they get married and have children, or when they have toddlers? Because we know abuse can happen very, very young to a child.
Sure.
So how does prevention look? What does prevention look like?
Well, first of all, I would give you one stat that really demonstrates the importance. There's one study that says that children that receive child sexual abuse prevention education are 2 times less likely, or the other way would say children that don't are 2 times more likely to be sexually abused than those that receive education. So
But you're educating the kids or the parents?
We feel both are
Okay.
critical to the equation.
Really?
So it's critical. Education can be a game changer
Okay.
as far as knowing where the risks are and then how to mitigate those risks.
How old or how young, should I say, do they come to you?
You can really start at any age, make those conversations age appropriate, and just have it be a continual conversation.
And you teach them how to
you're
do
doing.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Chris shares a story about his daughter. I think she was very young, started to ask some questions, and he had answers because he was educated on how to answer her questions that most parents would not be comfortable with.
Yeah.
And then when she started to date, she was asked out to a prom by a boy, and the other kids said, "Oh, you might want to think about that." But she was so trained in boundaries that she was educated. The young man came over. He talked to Chris as the dad, and they had rules and guidelines for this
Old-fashioned
date.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
said, "Oh gosh, we're going to be home on time. We're going to." What were the other rules? You remember this story? We're gonna
Yeah. Be home on. Wait, I think Chris essentially asked the man that was taking his daughter out, we do a lot to keep our daughter safe.
Yes.
What are you going to do to keep my daughter
I
safe?
love that.
And
Yeah.
facilitated an amazing conversation. Think for a
That's
minute
good.
what that is signaling to the young man.
Yeah. That.
Don't mess
Hey,
with
we're
us.
we're serious about this. We want you to have fun, but we want you to keep our daughter safe.
Yeah.
And
How many
Well-
times do you not even meet the parents these days? It's
Well,
like, oh, you
and-
go with a bunch of friends. And
And it's about having healthy boundaries.
Absolutely.
And,
It's okay.
when is a hug okay? When is it not okay? What to watch out for? When, for some parents make the mandatory option, no overnight sleepovers.
yeah, whatever's right for them. But you're teaching them the
Families figure that
actions, which is so important.
And that's really to your question, what we do is facilitate the education at the parent and family level so that parents know what they can do, and then they become the champions in their children's lives. So our services go directly to parents and caregivers, and then our hope is that they facilitate then the boundaries and the conversations that make sense in their situations and their families.
And I love they can get education again for free because you do so much good
Absolutely.
fundraising and so many great things to bring in that sponsorship and those donors that want to help, which is so
Yes.
great. That's why you're on social media and you get on platforms and people know about you. So the viewers can either donate to help support it because all your services are free. So there's really no excuse to say, I didn't know or I couldn't afford, because that's the worst thing. I can't afford help, I
Right.
can't get help, insurance won't pay for help. This is a free community service you give to them. Can you give us any more success stories? I really want the viewers to hear some more success
Yeah,
stories.
on prevention, let me give you one.
Yeah.
This story is one of my favorites, but several years ago, I got an email back from a mom who was writing us a thank you email. And she said, I was at a gathering with family, and I previously had your prevention education, and I talked to my son about that. And while we were at this family gathering, a situation came up that put her son at risk. But because he had had good prevention education, he was able to stand up and set boundaries. And on the ride home or soon after, I don't remember exactly how the son told his mom the story, but said, hey mom, this is what happened at that family dinner. And she wrote us an email and said, I'm convinced tonight that the education that we received through Saprea saved my son from being a survivor of child sexual abuse.
Wow.
That's a life-changing.
They
It's a
need you on all-
life-changing
they need you on
experience.
all
It's a
the movie
life-changing
sets.
event.
Yeah.
They need you in the movie sets and TV sets and
Yeah.
all the. I mean,
Sure.
I'm just thinking this could just.
On the healing,
life-changing.
yeah, and on the healing side, we have a free 4-day retreat that women can come to now, and I remember hearing a story of a survivor that was really at the end of hope, and she said, the last thing I'm going to try is coming to one of your retreats.
Oh, last ditch
And
effort. Okay.
she came to one of our retreats, and when she came home, she said, I tore up my suicide note.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And, those are a couple stories, but every survivor story is theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Every healing journey is unique.
And that's what you were talking about. The symptom would have been
Yes.
suicide, and you wouldn't have known.
We're often treating symptoms,
Yeah.
and sometimes therapy is great, but maybe not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough to really help someone move through this and into a place of peace and hope and living a healthy life on all fronts.
You guys really, you unpeel that onion completely. I absolutely love that. Before we get to run out of time, I don't want to run out of time without you talking about the QR code. If we could put up the QR code, tell us a little about what this survey is, because I think it's really important that the viewers know about what you're doing. So tell us about that.
This is critical for us, and if there's one thing you can help us with tonight, everybody that's listening, get this QR code and take this survey. We have just launched a survey statewide in Georgia, and we want 2,500 people to take this survey across the state. What it is looking at is Georgians' perception of child sexual abuse.
Okay.
So that we know a better way to approach prevention in the state of Georgia. So jump on the QR code, take this survey. It won't take.
It's a short survey.
It's a short
What's
survey.
a few minutes.
Like what?
It's things like, do you believe that child sexual abuse is a problem in your community?
Okay.
It's analyzing those things, because once we get the data back, we'll have a better jumping off point and a launching point to know what do we need to go do in the state of Georgia to address prevention of child sexual abuse.
That's great.
Yeah.
Change the landscape of the conversation.
That's perfect.
That right now is, oh, you mean trafficking? No, we don't mean trafficking.
That's
We're talking
exactly
about a
what I
whole wide scope of problems
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, we're into problems now like sextortion, disinformation, AI being used for harm. So we really need this survey filled out. So we've collected our
Can help
research
better.
to forge ahead to make massive progress
Yeah.
quickly to save our kids.
So you're asking the question so you can help them better.
Yes.
Because you're not saying, hey,
Absolutely.
we know it all, we'll just feed you.
No.
It's like, no, tell us what else you need. So that's really good. So if the viewers are watching, which viewers are watching, they can go back, they can rewind this, pause, get the QR code. Is it also on your website?
We can make it available. Where it's localized to the state, we haven't put it there
Okay.
because our website is nationwide. But
Oh,
we'll
okay.
provide the link and make it available on
It's
the
up again
QR
now.
code. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. And with that, I know we have to come to a close. What else in the closing would you like the viewers to know about? Tell us your final thoughts. Cathryn, start with you.
My final thoughts are, I do believe, after all of the education I've had with Saprea ongoing, that it is all of our responsibility to keep our children safe. Every one of us. And that needs to happen personally and professionally. So get involved. Go to the website. You can like, you can share on social media. Sometimes just sharing a post could save and change a life.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Really big deal. I've heard it happen. I had a friend who said, wow, I saw that post. I made it to a retreat. Her life is different today than it was a couple years ago. I mean, completely different.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I think get involved, you know, give your time, give your talent, give your donations, like, share, comment. Please don't be afraid to say, wow, that's a great thing.
Yeah.
You know, be brave. Be the one to go first.
Oh, I love that. Be the one to make the way, pave the way. I love that. So follow your social media. And I know your galas are also by invitation only, so get on your mailing list. Get involved, because you're very
Absolutely.
selective, too, who you all associate with and who you bring in. Real quick, as we close, what's your final thoughts?
Yeah, I would say two things very quickly. Number one, I would want survivors and parents to know they have an organization that is championing them.
Okay.
I would want survivors to feel hope that they have an organization that will help, and I would want parents to feel supported. And number two, I would want people to say, give a little bit of their time to this issue. If you're sitting there listening to this thinking, you know what, I'm just going to go to the website and get a little bit more education.
Absolutely.
Join us in the fight against child sexual abuse.
Because it affects almost everybody in some
It
way.
affects all of us in some capacity.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really does, especially the symptoms. Thank you so much, Matt and
Thank
Cathryn,
you.
for being here. You all are just salt of the
Thank
earth.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They are amazing people. I know them personally, so I hope you reach out, and I hope you'll check them out on saprea.org. Thank you so much. And now let's have some more music with our wonderful Tina Nelms, who will be on the piano now with Medley.
God loved me in a special way. What more can I say? I can feel His love right now. Love me in a special way. What more can I say? I can feel His love right now. I can feel it now. I can feel it now. Lord, I love you. I love you, Lord, with all my heart and all my soul. because you loved me. Before I knew myself, he didn't leave me. He knew that I would need his help, so I'll never let Satan win, 'cause I've got the victory, and I know that I win. I've got the victory, and I know I win. I've got the victory, and I know that I win. I win, I win, I win, I win, I win, I win, over and over again. I win, over and over again. Over and over again. I love you, Jesus. I worship and adore you. Just want to tell you, Lord, I love you more than anything. 'Cause it's so good to be loved by you. It's mighty, mighty good. Oh, I just want to be loved by you. It's so good, oh, just to be loved by you, God. I'm so grateful, I'm so thankful that I'm loved by you. And I just want to say that I love you more than anything, anything. I just want to say that I love you more than anything in the whole wide world. I just want to say that I love you more than anything.
Good afternoon. I'm Minister Betty Dixon from New Jerusalem Baptist Church, and I'm here in Atlanta Live in the prayer room, which is the heart of Atlanta Live. And let me tell you this. The Word of God says, I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praises shall continually be in my mouth. In order for you to say that, you have to have a relationship with him and know that whatever you're going through, you can still bless him. If you don't have that relationship with him, I need you to call that number for me, 770-300-9828. And when you call that number, I'm going to pray with you and pray for you. And we have other prayer warriors in here that if you call that number, we will pray with you and help you to get to know him, so that when the things rise, that things is going on, things is happening, you can truly say yourself, I will bless the Lord at all times, because his praises shall continually be in my mouth. You'll have that testimony as well. And when you call that number, I'll also introduce you to Christ if you don't know him. You just need to get your Bible and find Romans the 10th chapter, verse 5, 9, and 10. And it says, if you confess with your mouth, believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead, you shall be saved. You just as saved as I am if you say that. But you got to admit that you're a sinner and ask him to be your Lord and Savior, and he will clean you up. And then you will be able to say, I will bless the Lord. Call the number, 770-300-9828. 770-300-9828. We love you here at TV 57. Call the number.
Thank Thank you so much for all you do over there in the prayer room. Thank you, thank you. You know, this is the only show that I know of that you actually have live prayer partners. We can call that number in, and we're on the air Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, with live people there to pray with you. So without any further ado, I told you in the very beginning, you're going to be able to meet this beautiful and talented, gorgeous, sparkling Tina Nelms. Welcome to the set.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, you're such a pleasure. Your voice is incredible. And medley that you just did on the piano so eloquently, while I was looking also at your sparkly ring and your shoes. Oh my, I love it. That was an original?
So it's a mixture of different songs. One, I Win, is a song that I wrote for the International Women's Day, a national event the last couple of years, but also a couple of love songs. You probably heard a little bit of Stevie Wonder in there a little bit, and then some other just love church inspirational music. It's just combined together. It was kind of my intimate worship love back to God.
Oh, I loved it. It was like a love letter right there, and just tickling the ivories, and just, it was beautiful.
Thank you.
Should do this more often.
To God be the glory.
That's right, that's right. Speaking of God,
Yes.
you had a brush with death that brings you all full circle to here.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, actually, I was a college student traveling from Houston to a nearby city that's about an hour away, Huntsville, Texas, at Sam Houston State University. And I played for churches at the age of 12.
Really?
So I was traveling back and forth on the weekends, playing for churches, doing worship, leading songs, and then coming back to school Monday through Friday. And so this particular Monday morning, headed back to class, car touched some of the grass or something that was wet, started spinning. My car went out of control. And because I've been in God's house, I've been trained to who to call on, talking about calling on the Lord.
Jesus, take the
All
wheel.
I could say was Jesus, 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 over and over again.
And your car was flipping.
I mean, it was literally flipping upside down. I could see trees upside down. And the more I saw the trees, I just was like, Jesus, you're the only one in this moment that can save me. And finally, it flipped down the embankment. The car stopped. Me being in shock, didn't even think about was I injured. I got out, started taking off running back into ongoing traffic, not aware. And an 18-wheeler driver stopped and caught me from running back into ongoing traffic. And he stopped me until the ambulance stayed there with me. The major part about the story that really, really touches my heart and my entire family, when my mother got to see the car, the spot where I was sitting was the only place, looked like God just covered me. Everywhere else was smashed in. Front, back, side, windows shattered, everything gone. And I walked away with a broken vessel vein in my left leg. That was it. I had no other bruises, no other injuries, no other catastrophes.
Right. Wow.
And so it was a wake-up call for me as a 17, 18-year-old, you know, knowing that, hey, I've been taught this, who to call on. But now I can live it in my own testimony and be able to say, hey, I can call on the Lord, and the Lord came through for me. And I will never forget that moment. I will live my life to give it all back to him.
You know, you hear so many times that we hear about car accidents all the time and people that don't make it.
Yes.
And when something like that happens, you know, I've had cancer and I survived.
Yes.
Arthritis. Remember, some people don't. And you're wondering, okay, Lord, not why me, why do I have to go through that, but what do you want from my life now?
Right.
You obviously want me to do something.
Right.
So did you feel that at that moment, that
Yes.
that was like a calling on your life at that moment?
Absolutely.
Okay, Lord, I could have easily been a statistic at that moment, and
Yes.
many people are, but you're not today.
Correct.
What was going through your mind that moment?
That actually, for me, it was the confirmation that I was on the right path. I was doing the right thing. But you know, you're young.
Yeah.
You're going to college. You're thinking, oh, well, maybe I'll change my career. I'll do something different. It was the confirmation for me that, yes, I need to keep ministering to people through my music and be able to share what God can do, because he's done it for me and he can do it for you.
Absolutely. So where did your life take off after that? What happened? What changed?
Oh, wow. Actually, immediately that next year, a big gospel event, music workshop that's national. I got a chance to do one of my original songs there at 17 years old.
I love that.
And I was able to share with them, hey, the song was He Is So Able. He was an able God in that situation.
Oh, yeah.
So I could definitely stand on that promise. And now, call on the Lord. I just got through singing that. Call on his name. He will answer you. Just know that he will always come through.
He really does. And his timing, not our timing, too.
Correct,
Isn't that crazy?
correct. Exactly.
Yeah. So has that become your career then? Because you're saying you're 17, 18. You look like you're 21,
Yes.
22. So I don't know how long ago this was.
Thank you.
But
Many moons ago, a couple decades ago. But no, actually, I call it my paraprofessional world is HR. I'm an HR manager by trade during the day. I've done that over 20 years.
Nice.
And so, but that kind of fuels my passion. My passion is my music.
Okay.
That's for me to be able to minister, share God's good news, and be able to motivate others, be able to encourage others. I'm a songwriter. I just did a collaboration with Molly Music and Leroy Thomas that won an Intercontinental Music Awards that for representing North America for gospel contemporary music. So that's the thing is that, yes, I do have a career. I have a master's degree in education and music education. I have a master's degree in HR management. But at the end of the day, I know from that day, I was called to do music. I was called to share the gospel, share the good news so that I can help someone else to know you can call on the Lord too. His name is Jesus.
That's amazing. That is an ultimate moment where it's Jesus take the wheel.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
You know, and you're part of that. What is one of the biggest blessings that you've experienced since that day? Like, what's that? Like, wow, I'm so glad I was experienced that or this happened to me. Because your life could have ended that day.
Absolutely. For me, it was seeing some of the paths that some of the same students I was hanging with at college and going different paths. And because that changed my direction to say, stay the course. Make sure you do what you were called to do.
Yeah.
Don't deviate from the plan. And some of them didn't end up as well off.
Yeah.
And that was the wake-up call to me that, hey, it meant what it meant to do for my life in that moment. And that's why I'm still sitting here today.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So you're really on that non-negotiable road.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's like,
it's all or nothing.
wow. Somebody
All or
asked you to
nothing.
come sing, you're like, yep.
Oh, yeah.
I felt the same way when I
Yes.
took out my vocal cord and told me
Yes.
I'd never speak. It's like, when somebody wants me to speak, it's like, yes.
Yes.
Anytime I can open my mouth and
Right.
give God the glory, you know.
Even if it's
do it.
airy or whatever I got, I'm going to give it to him.
Exactly. You're saying you're kind of getting a little
Yeah.
raspy. You overwork
Right.
your voice now, right?
Exactly.
But you'll use it. He says make a joyful noise.
That's it.
Mine is a noise. Yours is definitely better than a noise.
But trust me, we both had surgery. I've had vocal surgery
Yeah.
too. So I know what that's like. And it comes and it goes. But no matter what we have, we'll give him the glory.
And you know what's fun? That God wants our availability, not our abilities anyway.
There you go.
So the less able we are, the more glory he gets.
That's
We
it.
just say, God, just show me where you want me to go.
That's
I'll
it.
go. It's your gift anyway.
Yes.
So we second guess ourselves so much. Like, I'm not good enough, or I don't
Right.
speak good enough, I don't sing
all
good.
do that.
There's people better. Of course there's people better,
Yes.
but it's not about being better.
Right.
It's he has a purpose for us,
Yes.
and we will change lives because
And
we're
I
still
always
here.
and I always say that yes, he has a purpose for us, but he also has an audience for you.
Ooh, I like that.
Because he gave us all a particular gift
Did.
and an innate ability to do something great for him. So it's not our job to sit on that thinking about what someone else is doing. That's not our lane, that's not our path. And just because we have a path, there's an audience waiting, someone waiting for you to bless them
There really
with your
is.
gift.
And women were so hard on ourselves.
Yes.
Oh, I'm not
Oh,
as
yes.
good enough. I need to do that. Let me lose 10 pounds before I do that.
Exactly.
He's
I don't look
fine
right.
just the way you are right
Exactly.
now,
That's
today.
You're
to fulfill
breathing,
God's-
get up and do it.
Thank you very much. Amen to that. Real quick, I know we're ending. Where can people
Yes.
get your music?
You can find it on all digital platforms, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, you name it. Tina Nelms Music.
Okay.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. And you can find us with our label owned by my sister as well, NelmsMusicPlanet.com. And that's Nelms, N-E-L-M-S, musicplanet.com.
That is awesome. And in one word, if somebody's experienced that life or death moment, give them your favorite scripture or favorite saying right now before we close.
Romans 8:28. All things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose.
I love that. And I love Proverbs 16:3. Give your works wholly to the Lord, and he will bless and prosper them.
Yes.
With that, Tina, thank you so much for helping us close out this amazing show tonight. So glad you're all here to share this experience with us. Watch it again. Share it with your friends. Atlanta Live is on all the social medias under WATC TV, channel 57. Thank you for being here with us. Until next time, Saprea McGarry, have a great night. Bye for now.